Hello everyone, my name is Rax, and welcome to my channel, the Rare Normie. Now, before we start, please do not harass anyone that is featured in this video. I do not condone violent threats, false accusations, and inappropriate comments. However, opinions, constructive criticism, and suggestions are welcome. Please do not go to the social media accounts of the people featured and don't leave hateful messages. All the pictures, videos, and other media featured here are taken from public profiles, domain, and comments. Lastly, the information here is unofficial and should not be used for anything legal. All persons in the video are innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Rax, the Rare Normie, and I'm here for another video. So, just a little bit of information, guys. My previous video, I got in trouble with YouTube. It wasn't a copyright strike, but it was an information that the copyright was found on my video, but the owner is allowing the video to be posted. And this was the clip wherein I got from Dr. House with regards to the person with androgen insensitivity syndrome or male pseudohermaphroditism. Um, yeah, it's not affected, but then again, I'm scared of the strike. I'm just a new emerging channel, and I still don't know what to do. I see the YouTubers and what they do, but I don't know what goes on underneath the hood, so to speak. So, this time I'm gonna give a proper proper attribution to the person that owns this video, and I tried to do it with my previous video. I put in the description who owns the video and what company owns the video, but I guess you have to to avoid getting copyrights, you have to split up the video or reduce the audio or something else. I'm gonna try and find out what I need to do properly. Now, enough of that. Let's go on with the video. Now, I am a nurse from the Philippines, as I have stated multiple times already. If you haven't, if this is just for the people who are first time watching my video. But we have an incident in the Philippines right now. A vlogger girl, a student nurse in the Philippines, and apparently she did something. Now this video is from a vlogger named Nurse Alex, and he is a registered nurse. I think he is a registered nurse abroad. He might be a foreign. He's not a Filipino nurse. I think so, because we're gonna check out his video right now.
Nursing student vlogged her patient flatlining at the hospital. Here are the clips.
Few hours after this discussion, a patient came to the emergency room with no
So in what from what I understand with the video, the possibility that this vlogger girl was filming the return demonstration on how the defibrillator works. And then suddenly a patient came in with no pulse, so they had the opportunity to use the defibrillator. The student nurse, took it as an opportunity to make a content for her. I guess it was a TikTok video. The problem is, this is already something that we have been grilled as student nurses for a very, very long time. Um, Patient privacy. And this was a time wherein I was in nursing school, that we didn't have those fancy devices yet. We didn't have any smartphones because I graduated and passed my board exam in 2007. So, and I don't think smartphones existed at that time. We did have stuff like PDAs, but PDAs were so expensive. It was not available to the general public, and even my PDA at that time was only like an LED. No, liquid crystal display, but the old model where it's only black, gray images. So, but even then, we were told if we had those portable cameras, and we were told not to use it on patients. We of course we had to do stuff like interviews for case presentations and everything else, but everything had to have consent, and if the patient refuses, do not use any information about the patient. We were not even allowed to use the full names. We had to use aliases. This was something that was ingrained to us as student nurses. So I don't know what happened. And even when I started working as a nurse, like I work as a PSW here in Canada for 4 years, taking care of one patient. Even for that one patient, I tried my best not to video or take pictures of my patient. I understood that, you know, even though the family was saying that your family now, you could do this, you could do that. Nope, I maintained my boundaries, and the only times that I took extensive videos and photos was to give it to my boss because he was asking for an update. Now, I look at my camera roll, and I only have like 2 to 3 pictures that I took for a personal use that I will not be sharing with anyone else, just to remember her by. Other than that, everything else was strictly professional, and I deleted a lot, especially if it's like a sensitive video or picture. And yeah, I tried to maintain privacy even though I was working as a PSW, and even though that the family here considers me as a member of the family. Okay, let's continue watching the whole video.
I truly just cannot imagine being a patient in the hospital and you're coding, fighting for your life, and then you look over and there's a nursing student going like,
So that's, yeah, you could, all you have to do as a student nurse is just imagine how would you feel if you were the patient. I understand how social media has pushed people to post all of their lives online. Like me, right now, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to push some of parts of my life online, but I'm having this. I am very careful in what I post. That's why you see me as a wolf avatar, because I'm also very shy. So props to people like Nurse Alex who are able to show themselves in public without like being shy about it. But I'm an introvert. Okay, so as an introvert, I try to avoid posting too much of my life. I'm just posting this part because I'm trying to practice to be a little bit more extrovert. So back to the issue. Um, I am sure that this nurse, student nurse, is going to get into a lot of trouble. And I don't know how much extension she will get. So extension is a type of punishment in colleges of nursing in the Philippines. I'm not sure if extension exists here abroad, but extension is basically this. If you made a mistake, like you forgot your stethoscope, you forgot your BP apparatus, you did not have the right color pens, you made a mistake in charting, every mistake has a corresponding number of hours. And for example, leaving not using the right pen, or you don't have the right pen during inspection, you would get 3 hours extension. And if you made a grave mistake, like for example, you forgot the medication at a specific time and it's already been like 3 to 4 hours, that would be a 24-hour extension. So what are extensions? What happens when you get an extension? So extension is you have to do the number of hours of shifts. So for example, you got 24-hour extension. So before you can finish your semester, you have to finish those extensions first. So you have to find a clinical instructor, you have to pay the clinical instructor on top of the tuition fee. So you have to pay them directly that, ma'am, um, I have like 40 hours extension. So I'm gonna choose this number of hours in a shift, and you will have to pay that clinical instructor. Uh, it was a very expensive amount because basically you will be paying for that by yourself. So you'll be paying for the whole shift. So if a clinical instructor works for 8 hours and earns about 800 pesos, I think at that time, you will have to pay for 800 pesos for the whole shift, because you have to compensate the clinical instructor who has to be there for your extension. So if you incur a number of hours of extension that is more than the clinical hours for one semester. Like for example, if one semester there's like 300 hours of no 150 150 hours of clinical rotation, work you doing um, clinical work or related learning experience in the hospital. If you go over if your extensions go over 150 hours, there's no sense for you to do that extension anymore. You have to redo the whole semester. But what are mistakes that could possibly get you kicked out of um, the whole program the whole course? This would be one of them. This is a grave mistake of privacy. Um, you would probably get the maximum number of hours of extension and repeat the whole semester. That's the lowest punishment that you would get. Um, it is almost in par with violating the 12 rights of giving medications. So let's watch the rest of the video.
The whole thing is so crazy to begin with because she has her phone out at clinical. That's already so crazy because if I had my phone out at clinical to even Google a medicine, I will get kicked out of the entire program if I don't apologize profusely for doing that without.
So when I was still in nursing college, we didn't have any smartphones because smartphones came out in 2010, the first iPhone. I graduated in 2007. We didn't have those stuff. We didn't have any tablets. Laptops were so expensive. Not a lot of people have them. I did have a PDA, but it wasn't that powerful. It didn't have any camera. And so I might not be able to relate to the new setting wherein students are bringing laptops, bringing tablets, bringing smartphones. I'm not sure if it's allowed. I don't think it is, but maybe in this situation, the clinical instructor was cool with student nurses having their own phones. Maybe they were allowing student nurses to post about their shifts. But as you can see, there's a big risk in violating the patient confidentiality and privacy of the and privacy in the hospital. So yeah, you should get punishment for this one.
Getting permission. Like, it's crazy. And she decided, I'm going to take my phone out, record a patient flatlining, write a script, put some sad music behind it, and then post it online.
Now that he's saying it, it's actually so bad because this wasn't like a spur of the moment post like, oh my god, I saw something and then you post. So she made the effort of making a script, putting some editing, putting some music and stuff, and that's like, in terms of it might be morbid to say, but in terms of murder, this is premeditated. Well, she did basically murder her own career as a nurse. Oh my god.
It's just not that great of a look. It's a horrible look, actually. It's honestly, it's the worst thing you can do as a nurse. The most important thing that nursing school taught us is that never break HIPAA. It's the law, actually. Do not break it. And
I don't know if Philippines has HIPAA. I think we have something else. But when I left the Philippines, we only had the importance of privacy. But we do have the Data Privacy Act of 2012. But again, I graduated 2007 and passed my board exam the same year. So this was not in effect during my time. But working in the hospital, of course, we had to follow this Data Privacy Act and Confidentiality Law Philippines. Yeah, Data Privacy Act. So I remember one incident, and this incident was somewhere along 2018, 2019. You had these group of nurses, not student nurses, group of nurses working in the operating room. And what happened was that one of the nurses, they had this challenging patient that they were trying to save, and what happened was that the patient died on the operating room table. So this nurse felt sad, took a picture of the suction canister full of blood, and that was what she posted. And then she posted about how sad the situation was. They fought to save the life of the patient, and there was no information at all about who the patient was. The problem was that the time period, the approximate date was found in the post, and certain family members found the post of the nurse and was able to infer that it was their patient who died, and the blood the blood in the suction canister was from their patient. So those nurses working in the operating room got into a lot of trouble because what happens with the breaking of privacy is not you, it's not just you breaking the law, it's not just you doing a mistake, it is also the feelings of the person and the people involved, the family members. Their feelings have to take into account. So if the person or the family members felt insulted because they think their privacy was invaded, you are in trouble. Okay, so that's why I really try to follow patient privacy. I avoid using my phone or taking pictures during the shift.
And this happens way too often because I just made a video yesterday that's supposed to come out today about how another nurse on social media posted her patient's chart on her story. How is this still happening?
Okay, regarding the chart, I remember the time when smartphones began to become popular in the Philippines and it began to be affordable. I think it was about 2013, 2014. People were starting to buy smartphones, and the models were getting cheaper, better camera, better storage, and the apps came out, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It was getting easier to post stuff online. You no longer have to download your photo and video to a laptop and then post it on the internet via a browser. So I remember during that time, we were really drilled not to do it. But then I would see colleagues taking pictures of the chart. Sometimes they took pictures of the doctor's orders on how bad the handwriting is, and then complain about it online. And that was like a big no-no and a violation of the Data Privacy Act. Yeah, they did get into trouble. But then they were like regular nurses in a government hospital. So I'm gonna talk about that stuff, but to make the story short, if you are a regular nurse in a government hospital, it takes a lot more to get you fired as compared to a volunteer and a job order or casual nurse.
It's just so dumb. Don't stop doing this, guys. Don't do this. So a nursing student vlogged her patient flat.
So that's basically it. That's the whole video from Nurse Alex. You can see the. Oh, sorry about that. So that's the whole video from Nurse Alex. So you can see his social media account, and I assume that he has a Facebook page. It is loading. Yep. So he's actually posting stuff in a work setting, but I don't see any patients. I don't think he is posting during his shift. I think he's posting during his break time. I think some of the settings are in his house. So just like Nurse John, they try to make sure that they don't get into trouble. And I don't think he is from the Philippines. He is in United States. Okay. So, yeah, if you are a nurse, if you are a student nurse, try to avoid breaking privacy. Just make sure you follow the rights of your patient. That includes right to privacy, right to safety, right to proper care. It's not just the rights of the medications, by the way. And yeah, I hope that this is a lesson learned. I think the whole country has known about this by now because I saw this in my social media. I'm trying to find more information. Like, I'm trying to find the actual video, but I think it has been deleted already. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Again, world peace.